thanks. I'm here with Jim Jeffries. How you doing, Jim?
Very good, thank you.
As most Aussies, I've never heard of you. Why is that?
I haven't lived here for 8 years, so that's why you haven't heard of me. It's okay, I'm okay with that. But no, I only did maybe less than a year's worth of gigs in Australia, some in Perth and about 6 months in Sydney. I did 2 open spots when I was 17 at the Sydney Comedy Store back when I was in Petersham. And one of them went really well and one of them went so badly that I didn't do it again until I was 23.
Okay. Well, why is it that, what made you get into stand-up originally?
I've just always really liked stand-up, and also I used to work in the performing arts before this, and then that all ended and I thought I didn't want to get a real job. And but I used to watch The Big Gig religiously, like as a 10-year-old. I used to think Glyn Nicholas was the most talented man on earth because he could mime and shit, which I've incorporated none of that into my own life, but that was my starting point, yeah.
Awesome. A lot of people have said your style's controversial. Why is that?
It's because it's controversial. That's what happens with things. You know what I mean? People say it's like what it is. No, it's I tell. It's not as controversial as you think. Most of it's storytelling. But if you mention disease like cancer, AIDS, and that type of stuff, then people are going to always label that on pedophilia, rape, all these topics that you're not meant to joke about, but we all do. When we watch the news and all that.
Yeah.
That's why people call it controversial.
Like the Christian Voice called you sick and repellent, and you put that on your poster. What's your response to that?
I go, any young comics out there who want to sell tickets, piss the Christians off. Very easy. People overcomplicate things. You know what I mean? What happened was I called my second show at Edinburgh the Second Coming, and then the Christians wrote in letters saying, to me, hate mail, going, you can't call yourself the Second Coming. You can't. You can't do this. So I started forwarding them through the newspapers to make it even more annoying to them. And then I said, look, why can't I call myself the Second Coming? You say God's coming again. At that stage I was 29, and I thought, well, Jesus didn't know he was Jesus till he was 30. He knew he was Jesus, but he didn't know he's Christ until he was 30. And I said, I have as much chance as anyone. You know, and the Christian group said that I wasn't allowed to be Christ, and it turns out I'm not. Well, I still could be. Life expectancy is a lot longer now, so any moment now I could get the calling, but they don't like that. And it just proves that if God does come back, the Christians will fucking crucify him again, and then it'll be the Jews killed him the first time, and the Christians killed him the second time. It'll be blacks for me and you that are only really behind him.
Definitely. You bring up a lot of personal issues about your life and your show. Why do you do that? And is it to overcome them, or what do you do with it?
There's a few reasons. I'm a bad joke writer, so I don't come up with good bits. Some people can write bits. I can only tell stories. I'm a very good embellisher. That's one of my skills. But everything in my show is 80 to 90% true, with just a little few tags we have there. Like I've got that egg up the arse story. Now that all happened, but it happened over 3 hours, not 3 days, and you just got to meet these things up a bit. But as for getting over things, yeah, it's a good way, if you get fucked over by a girlfriend or something, to be able to write 10 minutes of material about what a bitch she is. That's a lot of fun. Or to something that your parents did to you when you were young. I've got a brother at the moment who's very angry with me for mentioning him on stage, but he's quite an important man these days, but he wasn't an important teenager when he was a cunt to me, was he? You know what I mean? So that's where it all comes from. So whenever you're mean to someone, you never know where they're going to get to and what they can do to you, you little fuck, eh?
So your relationship with your family is strong?
It's all right, actually, yeah. Yeah, me and my family I think it helps that I live in Britain. Well, I live in LA now, but I've been living away from home for 8 years. Well, I've been, living out of home since I was 20, but but living out of the country. I'm my mum's favourite son out of the 3 of them, and the other ones take care of her, give her grandkids and all that. I'm off overseas fucking getting arrested and taking drugs, yet he's good to me. He sent me flowers on my birthday. So
basically what she doesn't see doesn't harm her, right?
Yeah, and anything she does see on stage that I do, she just thinks I have an overactive imagination.
Cool. Okay, the real reason I'm doing these interviews is trying to find out what is comedy.
See, that's a very difficult question. I believe comedy is anything that makes you laugh, but if you ask me the question, what is good comedy, then that's a different matter altogether.
Well, which was my follow-up question.
Yeah.
I might as well answer it now.
Well, okay, I'm all for slapstick and silliness like Monty Python and all that. I just hate wank. wank comedy, like the shit that we've dressed up as such and such, and we've got a fucking rubber thing with a keyboard and a thing, and there's gnomes coming at us and badges and all that. That's for fucking students and for cunts, that type of comedy. But you know, whatever gets you off, people. The comics I like storytellers: Richard Pryor, George Carling, Bill Hicks to an extent, but I'm not a mad Hicks fan like other people are. I liked him, you know. Chris Rock, anything that's taking a bit of risk is good comedy, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, Hey Dad. Let's go back to Hey Dad, right? Was there any risk in Hey Dad?
Not at all.
Was it shit?
Yes.
Yes, there you go. Hey Dad, that's your benchmark.
Well, what do you think needs to happen in Australian comedy so we can get, I don't know, onto the map more?
Bring Kingswood Country back. Kingswood Country's been off the TV in this country for far too long. If I can't watch Ted Bullpit putting money on the fridge and telling people to get out of his chair, I'm not fucking happy. So that's how you fix it. Kingswood Country.
I think they repeat on Channel 7.
Do they really?
Yeah, do they? Yeah.
They still repeat it?
Did you see they remade it?
They made it back about 10 years ago called The Bull Pits.
Yeah.
They cut everything, everything.
Well, the thing is about Kingswood Country was it was tepid in the sense that the jokes were lame and all that type of stuff, but it was racist as fuck. Kingswood Country. I'm not saying I'm being ironic when I said Kingswood Country was good, but it's like the type of place, if you said the word tits, they would have banned it. But you could say wog all day with no. He had that Greek son-in-law that he called the fucking wog near the Kingswood, and we're just like, oh, that's good fun. That's good fun, Kingswood Country.
Well, that's pretty much your Australian image, pretty much.
And I can't tell you how to fix Australian comedy because I haven't lived here for long enough. And many of the comics I've seen have surprised me how good they are, to be honest with you. I used to think that most of the good Australian comics were the ones living overseas, but there's none really in America. I think I'm the only Australian comic working in America. I'm sure there's some that have been there for 20 years or something, but not that I've seen, you know. The Concords are doing very well overseas, but they're from New Zealand, but you know, we'll claim them, right? We just crowded house, Russell Crowe, it's fucking ours, it's our music, it's our thing. Anything that New Zealand does that's slightly good.
Isn't the Australian?
The Australians, we're used to taking off minorities. Yeah, we get the Aboriginals, well, you fuck off, yeah, we'll have this. And then as New Zealanders, what, you got a good Neil Finn? Fuck off, we'll take him. And Russell Crowe's won an Oscar, has he? Fucking good Australian boy, get him over here. Oh, we're very good at that.
Yeah, definitely. We just love to steal and pillage.
So it's great that Australian double act, the Fly of the Concords, are doing real good business in America. I'm glad to see them flying the Aussie flag.
Oh, definitely.
It's like they play those New Zealand characters, but hey, that's the Aussie sense of humour, isn't it? You play a character.
So you've hit it real big in America right now, and you've got a special coming out, right?
I've got an HBO special coming out on the 16th of May. If anyone's watching this online, it will be on HBO. 10 p.m. 16th of May.
Cool, excellent. Well, thanks for your time, Jim.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, man.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Out. Awesome. Sorry, just got to check the second question. Okay.
All right, got it.
3, 2, 1. All right. Look, all right.